And hello there, everyone in the Trenton 365 community. Jacque Howard here, and welcome to today's show. I'm going to be moving kind of fast because there's a lot of information that I want to get out, and I'm really excited for the person I'm going to be bringing onto the screen shortly. Most of you in this region know who Aaron Watson and the Watson family are, but it's very important for us to understand what we have, some of the wonderful amenities that are here, right here in our community. Aaron Watson is the executive director of the Mercer County Parks Commission. Now, the Mercer County Parks Commission, for some folks, they're going to think maybe the golf courses or maybe the marina or the park. I want to tell you that you really need to take a couple of moments and go over to the Mercer County Parks Commission website and see all the amenities that are there. Aaron's going to touch on a few of them today, but there is no way that we're going to be able to get through to everything. But we're going to touch on a very large rounding encompassing of what the county is offering through the park system. So let's give a virtual welcome to a longtime family friend, Mr. Aaron Watson. Hello, Aaron. How are you, sir?
Hey, good morning, Jacque. How are you? And thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to sit and talk with you.
Absolutely, sir. And I wanted to publicly thank you for all the hard work that you and your staff and your team are doing over at Mercer County Park. The commission is doing some fantastic things. As I was saying to you before we started, every time I go to the website, I get blown away by there's more and more amenities. And I think that a lot of folks in this region, one, don't realize what amenities are here. Two, have not recognized that these are for all residents, literally every single resident, and
Absolutely.
that most of the things here are either free or very little cost. So when we start, Aaron, can you just share a little bit about your position and what it encompasses? And then we'll go in and touch on some of the newer projects that you have that have just been launched.
Well, thank you so much for that kind introduction. I got to tell you, Jacque, I feel like a rock star here. Quite frankly, in this position, I tell you, it's, when you hear people say all the time about, sometimes when you really love what you do, it's not even like work, right? I will tell you, I've been with the county executive. I've been fortunate enough and honored to serve as the county executive director of transportation and deputy administrator. And now I've also assumed the role of executive director of the park commission. I've been with him since 2004. And I will tell you, when you're dealing with infrastructure, it's really heady stuff. Very important stuff, and stuff that I pretty much dedicated 35 years of my life to. But when I took over the park commission, it was a little different bellywick. And then what I tell you, we got a remarkable park system. I mean, I inherited a remarkable park system. I inherited a remarkable team. But we've managed in the last 5 years or 4 years to do some things that have been simply incredible. And we're continuing to grow. And you hit on it. I mean, look, the county executive is very committed to make certain that we're diversifying our efforts out here, whether it be from the programs that we offer to the people that we have working, that we're hitting everyone, whether you're young, whether you're old, whether you're in the Latino community, the Asian community, African-American community, you're right. Their taxpayer dollars pay for it, and everyone should have an opportunity to enjoy it. So we're really trying to expand on that, and we've done some incredible things. I'd be more than happy to share with you some of the things that we've done.
Great. Now, Aaron, before we get into some of those projects, I'd like for folks to know that the relationship that Mercer County Parks Commission has with the arena, also with the Trenton Thunder, as well as Baldpate Mountain and Howell Living Historic Farm, etc.
So the Mercer County Park Commission is one of two commissions that's sort of in but not of your county, right? So you have the Mercer County Park Commission and you have the MCIA. And the MCIA, Mercer County Improvement Authority, they are the ones that are responsible for the arena, among other things, right? What the Park Commission is responsible for is about 10,000 acres of land, working very closely with our parks, with our planning department, but and it's about probably 6,000 acres of that is developed. And inclusive of that is a number of things, including Thunder Stadium, including, our now departed Trenton Thunder team. However, I'm happy to report we've now landed another team here, so we're very excited about that. But as you alluded to earlier, Jacque, there's so many things, there's so many offerings that the Park Commission has. I mean, it's not just about Richard J. Coffey Park, which is sort of like our jewel, right? But I'll tell you, we have like 2,800 acres in our Mercer Meadows, right? Which is Mercer County Park Northwest. That's inclusive of, our stables, Rosedale Lake, Reed Bryant Barn, our Red Barn, and how the Hunt House. But, we also have a wildlife center. We have a nature center. We have our Living History Farm. We have some incredible resources here, man. And I'll tell you, we just keep expanding on those things. And you're right. Our mission is to make certain that everyone knows it's there for them. And we want everyone to be able to get out and enjoy, despite where you come from. I don't care if you are from Trenton. I don't care if you're from Hightstown. You deserve to come and be able to enjoy that. And it's our mission to make certain that we're making it accessible to everyone.
And
really happy about it.
And that's fantastic, Aaron. And going through the annual report, and again, folks, that's up on the website. And again, I encourage you to go and read through the annual report. It's well done. It's nicely documented. Great photography, by the way, Aaron, as well. But the numbers of people who are using the parks are slowly increasing, but it doesn't fully recognize the amount of people who are here. What are some of the challenges with getting people to realize, hey, the parks are here and they're for everyone, and come on out and enjoy them?
Well, the interesting thing about county park system versus like municipal park systems, and that county park systems are not necessarily geographically diverse, right? So as a consequence, we have a lot of our properties that are not really in the city of Trenton. In fact, we only have 2 parks aside from Thunder Stadium that are within the city of Trenton, right? We have our Mill Yard Park, which is a very small park where you guys have, art all night and all this flea market. We got South Riverwalk Park, which is right there over top of the tunnel. You wouldn't believe how many people don't know this beautiful resource exists, right? And then we have Thunder Stadium. So primarily that's what we had. So to answer your question, part of the challenge is trying to get people to these parks because they're not really walkable parks. I mean, some of them are for folks that live in the proximity of them. But, we have most of our resources, like our larger resources, are out in like Hamilton, West Windsor, and Hopewell. And then with Mercer Meadows, which is a great walkable park, I mean, you have access to Pennington and Lawrence and Hopewell, right? So we're doing all that we can to try to make certain that we're providing transportation. And to that end, we've now invested in some buses and some vans. So when we're doing programs, we're being able to get some of the kids that may not have an opportunity to get to some of these resources there, right? So, I'm really proud about that because transportation should not be a hindrance or an obstacle to getting people to enjoy our parks. So, that's some of the things that I see. But I think the single most thing I have to point out, Jacque, is that not everyone traditionally felt like they were really welcomed in our park system. One of the things that amazed me when I took over in 2016 is I would come to the park and what I would see is the same populations of folks, largely people who were Caucasian, people that would come and enjoy the park. That's a wonderful thing. I mean, we want them to be able to enjoy it, but we also want to see African-American kids coming out from the city. And I kind of got the impression they felt like those parks that are out in Hamilton, West Windsor are out there for those folks and not us, right? And we've changed that paradigm, right? We've offered all kinds of programming because it's not simply about equality, it's all about equity. It's about reaching kids where they are to let them know that these valuable resources your parents pay for, by the way, are there for them and that you're welcome to come out and enjoy it. Whether it's coming out to our, our equestrian center, or whether it's coming out to our Olympic rowing center out there, which we, as you well know, Montgomery McNeil has done an incredible job of creating a swim to row program, so we can get kids out there to learn how to row. Whether it's our skating center or any of our other resources, we want them to know, everybody, not just the kids in the city of Trenton, those kids in Hightstown, those kids in Princeton. We want those kids to know that those resources are there for them, and we want everyone to be able to come and enjoy it. So again, same thing, with young folks, older folks, it's just a joy to see it. And one of the most impressive things that we did, I think around 2017, is when we started the happy hours. And you came out there for those happy hours. And of course, this is pre-COVID. But to me, that delighted my heart because that was representative of what Mercer County is about, right? You go to these happy hours, you'd see people from the Asian community, the Hispanic community, the white community, the Black community. You see old folks, you see young folks, all in the same space enjoying themselves. And to me, that's what America's about, and certainly that's what Mercer County is.
And that was I'm glad you brought that up. There's so many wonderful amenities here in Mercer County, recreational things, historic things, et cetera. But I'm glad you touched on those happy hours because I think those happy hours hit at a time where more and more people felt, hey, we need something to do that's outside, that's indoors, that has a nice vibe to it. And it was fantastic. And I'm looking forward to us getting back to that state where we could have more of those events. And And I want you to also go into a little bit, not only the happy hours, because Mercer County Parks, the main park, has done a fantastic job of bringing several diverse entertainment opportunities to residents at the park as well. Can you just share a bit about that?
Oh, absolutely. When I took over in 2016, primarily with the concerts that they would have out there were, a lot of, mainstream, PST kind of music, or you would see some country music, you would see a lot of rock and roll, but you didn't see anything that was really ethnically diverse, right? So what we've offered now is a little bit of everything, right? So we have some jazz out there, we have some rhythm and blues out there, we have some rock out there, we have some country out there. Again, we want to have something for everybody. This season, was a bit of a challenge for us, obviously, right? But one of the things that the county executive wanted to do was be able to offer resources to give people some opportunity, because people were suffering from cabin fever being in with this pandemic, and we identified with that. So we created a way to have drive-in concerts, right? And they were hugely successful. People were able to come, to be able to enjoy, to sit in their cars, and then they had a designated area next to their car where they could put out a chair and be able to enjoy some music in these very trying times. So that, in addition to the movies that we offered, because we also had to say the way that we did it, we had movie night on Friday night and a concert night on Saturday night, right? So we had people in our parks like all weekend. So again, we're trying to sort of acclimate to the conditions that we have, that we're faced with, and quite frankly, this could be the way we do business for the next year, and we're trying to do all of that. But to your point, Jack, we are offering diversified opportunities for everybody, even when it came down to our festivals, right? So, our Culture and Heritage Department does a wonderful job. They did, our Culture Fest that they have out there every year. I'm talking about thousands upon thousands of people that are out there. The Indian folks had their festival out there. Latino folks had their festival out there. We're always trying to broaden the paradigm. We're trying to offer things that everyone can come and enjoy and be able to appreciate other cultures. That's what this is about.
And Aaron, I want you to talk about the responsibility of your role as an executive director, taking in account all the different different moving parts that are in a diverse location like Mercer County. You've made it very clear that we're trying to get more people involved in this process. And you've worked with so many different organizations that cover all the county: Mercer Street Friends, Trenton Area Soup Kitchen, Princeton Area Community Foundation, all these different organizations that Mercer County Parks Commission has worked with as well. Again, I want you to bring it back together and talk about the responsibility of what this means to developing a community by providing access to amenities and parks, etc.
Jacque, you alluded to in the beginning that, many of you folks may know me as Aaron Watson. Well, I'm probably the least popular in my family. I come from a long line of public service, and my father and my mother would sit my brothers and my sister and I around the table, and they told us we had a responsibility to the community, right? And that is to bring people together, to try to, just try to be able to enjoy each other and appreciate where each other comes from. For me, like I said, it isn't about equality. Everyone knows these things exist, but unless you make extra effort to make people feel as if they deserve to be there and that they're welcomed, they won't come. So, bringing Wanda Lacey McNeil aboard was one of the most important things that I've done, because she's been able to make inroads into a lot of these 501c3s, the school systems, and the community in particular, to be able to bring people to our property so they can see the wonderful resources that we have. And then we got to figure out how do we make that affordable so that we can get those kids into those resources. So we created these administrators days, and we talked to you about this before, right? So we literally have people meet up at the nature center. We have the head of these 501c3s come, I do an introduction to tell them what they're going to see for the day. And then we load them in buses and take them to the various facilities to say, here's the wonderful things that we're doing. And they'd have a presentation by the directors. As a result of that, our attendance has really jumped. We got kids now getting on horses that never rode horses before in their lives, right? We got kids going out there to the farm and witnessing and sharing the harvest, and how we're harvesting our corn and our grains and our oats. We got people at the wildlife center that are saying, wow, we got this remarkable wildlife hospital out there. To me, that's what warms my heart. You know what I mean? Because we want to be an incubator of talent. We want to be an incubator for our future. We want our kids. A lot of times, particularly when people look at the minority community, they think the kids are only interested in kicking a soccer ball, playing basketball, baseball. No. We want our kids interested in STEM. We want them to be the next level land conservationists, the next level land stewards. We want them to be the future veterinarians. We want them to be the future scientists, all-inclusive term, the future scientists, because we know the environment is that important. And we're beginning to see that. We got some really talented people on staff. I was blessed to be able to hear some of the folks that, when I took over the Park Commission, but I also was able to bring on some folks. Because truly, people are not going to feel like they're welcome unless they see people that look like them doing these things, right? So you got one Lacey now is our director, marketing outreach. I got a guy named Alex who is, a Hispanic guy who works right in my stewardship department, is going in and making, inroads in the schools, you know what I mean, and 501c3s, and when kids begin to see, wow, these folks look like me and they're doing these things, and they know it's there for them as well. And so I'm excited about that. We're seeing the fruits of that labor. And outside of the park, we've created something called the Outdoor Equity Alliance, right? And working and partnering with my partner and co-founder, Lisa Wolf at Hopewell Valley Open Space. We've created this organization with some very talented people that are concentrating on just that, figuring out how to get people in communities of color out into the environment so they can have an appreciation for it and that they can help us move it forward. You know what I mean? Move what we do forward.
And and Aaron, I'm glad that you've touched on the education component and getting more people involved with the science and the STEM work, because here in Mercer County Parks is very involved in what's happening in the ecological side as well. Can you speak about the dam in Hamilton, the restoration that's taking place there, and then also loop back around and talk about the environmental education piece?
Sure. Well, first, dam site 21. Right? Dam site 21 is a little known body of water and land, about 279 acres, right there off of Hughes Drive in West Windsor. Right, it is a park that it is a area that we're going to turn into a passive park that we're undergoing the master plan process now. We're going to move forward. It's going to be a beautiful ecological preserve. We're going to have, elevated boardwalks that people can walk to be able to enjoy and look at the flora and fauna. We're going to have potentially in the future, we can have camping opportunities, but it's just going to be another way for people to come out and appreciate nature. Birders are going to really be able to enjoy it. It's going to be an incredible thing. In our environmental education area, when I first came aboard in 2016, we had literally 2 people that headed up that whole area. Now we have about 8, right? So we've even broken it out. We have now a director of environmental education who has incredible programming that's happening down at Roebling Park, down at our nature center. And then we have our land steward, right? Our director of stewardship, who is, Ben Rogers, who's doing an incredible job of doing things like combating invasive species, planting trees, pollinator meadows, and all kinds of incredible stuff. And we're trying to get those kids involved and show them what is connected to that with the environment. And why is that important? Why is it necessary for us to plant trees? Why is it necessary for us to kill all of these things that are invasive that we as humans introduced out here, probably combat something else at the time, is now taking over our forests and now it's choking up our natural habitat, which is now a problem in terms of our animals. But what's important here is to show the kids the connection of that and what our responsibility and all that is and why we do what we do. When I talk about we do bird banding, people say, why are they out there harming the birds? Well, we're not harming them at all. We do bird banding so we can understand from an ecological standpoint what's happening in our habitat. We only capture them, we tag them, and we release them. But when we observe the sheer numbers of owl, songbirds, and things that are coming into our area, then we know that the deer browse is not as bad as we thought it was. You understand? That the invasive species isn't as bad or is worse than we thought it was. And it allows us to introduce that balance necessary to nature to make sure that we're being good stewards of the environment. We want our kids to be involved in that because that, in fact, is the future. We start talking about global warming and all that, it's all relationship. It's all relationship to our man's existence and footprint on this earth. We want to make sure that we're exposing our kids to that.
Well, Aaron, I'm glad you put it that way. And I think that it's super important for people to look at the environment more than just some terminology. Okay, global warming, and I don't have a part in this. All of us have a part in it. And I think that the best way to do that is make sure that our young people are the ones who get that information. So they're the ones who start changing the thinking. And I'm glad that you and Mercer County Parks Commission are pushing for that. And I can't wait to find out more about that and help you out with getting the information about the environmental education. Our water, our land, that stuff is what sustains us. If we don't have that, there's nothing that's going to be here for us. Just recently, Mercer County Parks Commission announced that they had purchased a new golf course. Now, those of us who golf and enjoy the game of golf, we appreciate this, but immediately there's always going to be people who are going to be asking questions and saying, why are we doing this and why are we doing that? I don't expect you to give all the details why, but could you just give a brief summary so that some of the folks out there who don't understand the reasoning behind this can get a better understanding, please?
So let me just share with you this, right? I'm not a golfer, although I know that our golf offerings serve an integral part of quality of life for a lot of people that enjoy the sport, right? And at the end of the day, like it or not, it is a healthy sport. I mean, my brother-in-law, for instance, goes out there and he's 75 years old. He says, what the best part of it is? I walk 5 miles, and I'm out there enjoying nature. As for Hopewell Valley, yes, Hopewell Valley became available, but here's what it could have happened, right? If in fact we didn't get involved. Someone else could have bought that land. It could have been developed. You could have had mansions out there. You could have had more sprawl. You could have had more homes out there. So why not? We do golf well. And I will tell you, even in this era of pandemic, our numbers are up. Our golf rounds are up. Our membership is up, right? And people enjoy the sport. So as for Hopewell, it is a historic course. It's in a little bit of disrepair. We've now taken it over. It will be ready to go by the March. It will be a job creator because we're going to be able to bring some, catering opportunities there. We're going to be able to hire new staff that's there. But more importantly, it's going to be self-sustainable. So it's not really going to cost the taxpayers much, in the beginning. Yeah, it's going to be a little investment in the capital, but we make money off of golf. So it's going to be an opportunity to both make money and provide this wonderful quality of life asset for folks that really enjoy the sport. So look at it as another way of us preserving. We're preserving land, and we're also, the beauty of it is that we're also providing this wonderful amenity that people really come to enjoy.
That's fantastic. I think that's a perfect soundbite for those who don't understand or don't play golf or don't understand the reasoning why Mercer County Parks Commission is acquiring land such as the Hopewell Valley Golf Course or the former Hopewell Valley Golf Course. Aaron, before we finish
Can I just add to that?
Sure, sure, yeah.
So just to give people a better understanding of that, right? When people hear about us acquiring a golf course or developing Dam Site 21 or, the quarry, which is something that I want to also talk a little bit about, oftentimes they say to themselves, in these dire, tough times, why are you spending our taxpayer dollars to do just that? Well, what they need to know is these assets are purchased through open space dollars, right? Open space dollars are designated for the acquisition of and preservation of open space. These are tax dollars that you're paying anyhow. It just comes out, it goes into a fund, right? There's X number of dollars for acquisition, there's X number of dollars for programming, and there's X number of dollars for stewardship. What we're merely doing is taking those dollars and programming them in a way that we're reaching the masses. And we're offering, again, some diversified activity for people to be able to enjoy. You understand? And at the end of the day, we're all about promoting healthy lifestyles. And everything that we're doing is promoting health. So I thought that needed to be said so people don't say, oh my God, my taxes are going to go up. Your taxes are not going to go up for these acquisitions. These acquisitions are already in your tax bill. And these are monies that have already been banked for that purpose. And we intend to use them so that everyone can have opportunity to enjoy it.
And Aaron, thank you so much for that clarification, because again, a lot of times misinformation is what a lot of people latch onto. And I will make sure that I continue to share that information with folks so that they don't get the wrong impression that all of a sudden all of our tax dollars are going to fund something that is only going to benefit a few people. Again, I think that has maybe been some folks understanding it and ideology from many, many decades ago about the way some work has been done, but things are changing and have been changing. And that's also due to the leadership that is there now between you, the county executive. Thank you very much, both of you, for what you have been doing. Finishing up, just one final word I'd like for you to share with folks who are still apprehensive and say, oh, I'm not going out there, it's too far for me to travel, or I don't really like fishing, or any of those things.
So if this is my final word, I certainly like to be able to touch on that, but I want to touch on that in a way that I think it speaks to the future of Mercer County, right? The most exciting project we have, aside from Dam Site 21 that's coming up, right? And trust me, we've done some exciting things. The first thing that we've done is we put a spray park out there, Mercer County Park for the kids. We did campsites 2 years ago. They're always full. I don't know if you noticed or not, Jacque, we put an outdoor workout area out there at the park now, so you can go out there. Yeah, it's an outdoor gym. That's
Okay.
spectacular. You know, we got Dam Site 21 on the horizon. We're going to build a ropes course out at Mercer County Park, which is we're really excited about. But by far, the most exciting project that we're going to embark on in the next 10 years is going to be the Quarry Project. And I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's right up there on Route 29, where the Trap Rock Quarry is, which coming back into county ownership in 2023, right? So we've embarked on a master plan process that looks at this 166-acre site. We're going to develop into a magnificent offering for the county. Now, don't ask me what that is yet, because right now, to be honest with you, we are going through the process of master planning, which means that everything is on the table. And if I commit to anything right now, you know, people say, I want this to be strictly for the birders, or I want this to be strictly for boating, or I want this to be mountain bikers, or I want this to be a skate park. Right? So you're going to get people that are going to have their own parochial concerns. We're not there yet. But the most exciting thing about this is it's a 166-acre site that we're going to be able to develop and have different activities there. Here's the most exciting part of it, Jacque. We at the county now will have this property that is going to be connecting to all the other properties that we own up there. You can virtually be on Valley Road, which is almost in Hunterdon County, right? It's on the border of Hunterdon County. You can connect off trail all the way to Fiddler's Creek and Baldpate Mountain without even going on the road. So this is going to be an incredible opportunity for us. You can go from Howe Farm to Baldpate Mountain on a trail system and then connect with this beautiful 166-acre site. So I'm telling you, this is going to be, we're going to do this right. We're going to be very thoughtful and comprehensive about our thinking here. Everything is on the table, and we get some of the best consultants, through Simone Collins, that are doing a wonderful job, headed up by, you know, a very talented advisory committee, you know, of my colleague, Director of Planning, Leslie Floyd, her right hand, Lisa Pritzinger, my right hand, Joe Pisa, and our superintendent, Anthony Kuki, who is the one that's overseeing the committee. And I got to tell you, when we're done with this, this is going to be an incredible opportunity. Everyone's going to be like, wow, Mercer County's got it all. It's like slam dunk. You know what I mean? It's like a drop the mic moment. So that's what we're going to be. So I really appreciate you having me, Jacque. I tell you, it's always a pleasure talking to you, man. And you can see I get really amped about the things that we're doing, because we're doing some incredible things. And when I say we, it's not Aaron Watson. It's this incredible team we have with the support and leadership of our county executive, my park commission board that are incredible, our freeholders that, you know, see it in their wisdom to make sure that those open space dollars are spent the right way. And I got to tell you, I'm just incredibly blessed to be in this position. I love it. And as long as they have me here, I'm going to continue to try to make it equitable for everybody.
Well, Aaron Watson, love you, man. I appreciate all the hard work you're doing, you and your family. You know that you've got my support, and keep on pushing on, man. And anytime I can do anything to get the word out about what's going on in Mercer County Parks Commission, you have no problem reaching out to me. Okay, sir?
Thank you so much, Jacque. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Stay safe.
I will, sir. Thank you. You and yours as well. Folks, you've been listening and watching the Trenton 365 show. Aaron Watson, the Executive Director of Mercer County Parks Commission, has been my guest. There is more information than you can imagine regarding the parks here in Mercer County, which is why it is the capital county, located right here in New Jersey. Remember, folks, it's always about justice, peace, and humility. Have a great day now.